Hello teacups, what's brewing? I've just been filming for 35 minutes to realise that my computer was not capturing Chantal. Hi, welcome back to my channel. Oh, we're doing well with this thus far. Okay, we're gonna have to start this again. Lovely to see you. I'll go back into my intro. Chantal has been busy old girl on the community tab. She's had some OnlyFans drama, which she will vehemently deny. But basically, I think I mentioned in my other video I showed you too, where she was basically telling everyone to suck it. That didn't go down too well, not only among the hater community, but a lot of her stans who genuinely went and subscribed to support her really didn't take well to being told to go weep with an A. And so unsurprisingly, the audience started turning. Chantal didn't take it very well. She oscillated between basically telling everybody to F off and being like, okay, message me and you'll get your refund. No, there's no drama here. Everyone who wants refunds got them, da 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 da. And it didn't go too well. Then during all that, a thing popped up saying, I'm going to the emergency room. If I need some help, which is what she talks about here. And while she was at the emergency room or after, she posted another rant about OnlyFans on her community tab. So clearly it was serious business. She still just couldn't let go of the drama while things were going on. So I didn't think much of that bid for sympathy, because if you're well enough to argue about OnlyFans while dealing with it, then obviously it wasn't that bad. We're now into this live. The live is called Good Morning. I've edited the live down because, dudes, it was an hour and 40 minutes long. That does mean I'm going to be stopping more because I've taken out the spaces that I would usually talk in or cut. So there's more relevant information, and we should probably get into it because of that. And this time, I'm going to make sure everything is capturing. Let's get into the video.
Today is day one of eating things.
Oh, another day one.
Oh yeah, I love coconut. This has no added sugar. That are going to heal my tummy.
That is a lot of coconut. That's going to be a lot of calories.
I'm still doing a video today. I just wanted to come live and
maple syrup. That'll be good for your blood sugar.
Friends, I guess.
The video she promised there hasn't materialized yet. She did say she was going to do a pre-recorded video updating things about her health. She did this live instead because she hadn't at this point had the conversation with the doctor. They were calling her that evening. We haven't had that video yet, but she just might not have filmed and edited it. So currently it is Tuesday. We haven't seen it at time of filming.
I did not need surgery on my fupa. I went in there thinking it was going to need to be lanced and that it was an abscess. I mean, there is some draining, so I don't know. So this is some old-fashioned oats that cooked for like 20 minutes.
That looks properly dry.
Like it's just eating what I have here. I have to get some healthier groceries. Some cinnamon, some coconut flakes.
She said she was having a grocery delivery at the time today, which was Monday. When she did her previous live, she had mentioned they were being delivered. So how has she not got groceries yet?
And a little bit of real maple syrup, which
is terrible for you.
It's not processed sugar, and it's actually good for your liver. What I read.
I looked this up because I was like, really? And actually, they did do an experiment using, I think, white mice or rats or something. And they were fed a 20% maple syrup diet compared to other rats that were fed sucrose of some kind. And they did show that there was an implication that there was some liver protecting properties to the maple syrup. I don't believe it's been tested on humans, so I don't know if it's relevant in this context. I didn't put a lot of research. It was a little Google search and that was as far as I got, so could be perfectly true. A little bit surprising, but as ever, Chantal tends to cherry pick the science that applies and take things kind of out of context. And in her case, her context is she isn't just eating for her liver, she isn't just eating for her weight, she's also eating for her diabetes or should be eating for these things. So she's got so many factors that she needs to balance here I don't know, given that the mice were fed a 20%, I think it was 20%, it was a high percentage of syrup in their diet to get that effect, if the syrup is going to be enough in something like a bowl of oatmeal to have those same properties within a human. There's a lot of variables there, and I feel like the amount of maple syrup you probably need to see that is going to completely cane her blood sugar. So I don't feel like it's a benefit that's going to help her, but I am speaking without the knowledge of if this has been tried in human trials. Still sugar.
Honestly, guys, what the doctor told me to do because of my had another CT. I have to talk to my doctor later today, so I'm going to do an update video
like I
after
said,
that.
Hopefully we'll
the
get
doctor at the ER told me they saw more inflammation, and there was inflammation like in my blood test.
Post-Chinese, I'm not
around
surprised.
my bowels, so to eat things like with the recurring C. diff and things to eat, I have to like rebuild my gut microbiome, or at least try, and I have to eat a lot of fiber. So, because fiber rebuilds your gut microbiome, so I have to eat a lot of fiber things. So oatmeal is like really high in fiber. Beans, and it has to be like lean stuff because of my fatty liver.
Yeah, so at least she is considering that right now. I was going to say I can believe she needs to eat fiber to help her gut. Okay, that's something I can believe. I know fiber is beneficial in many ways. Her antibiotics, though, she's going to find it really difficult to improve the state of her gut biome while taking antibiotics because they tend to wipe it out. And something, I don't know if this is reliable or not, but somebody messaged me or tagged me in Twitter or something, and they said that somebody with reoccurring C. diff would never be prescribed antibiotics because it does have that impact on the gut. And so that gives the C. diff more of a place to kind of hold on to because there's no protection within the gut bacteria. I don't know if it's if that's correct or accurate. I don't know if it's a case of looking at something like this infection she seems to have. If it's a case of, well, yes, one is bad, but this is worse, and so this is the way we've chosen to go, have an antibiotic. I'm not sure, but that's what somebody told me.
And no gallbladder. So I have to eat a lot of lean foods.
Yeah, low fat, I guess.
Very clean foods. Honestly,
Low
I'm not
fat,
having a hard
low
time
salt,
with right now because
low
of the
sugar.
infection. I haven't been really hungry. Like I went like all day and night last night without eating. I just I was so tired, you know. I feel okay. Like that's why they sent me home, because my blood work was a lot better. Like they didn't see that an infection had spread. They did a CT to see if I had any.
I was gonna say, oh, that's good, and then I was like, wait, better compared to what?
To see what was going on with the mass, and it showed like edema. So it's like a skin infection.
That doesn't
That
sound
whole
good.
like my fupa. It's like double in size. It's so weird. It feels like a bowling ball between my legs.
Sounds terrible.
I think it's gone down a very little bit. So what I have to do is just keep very clean. I just shower like twice a day, and then I use saline solution. Yeah, I'm on antibiotics.
Sorry, keep it clean, yes. But you also have to keep it dry. If you want something to heal, like, is it? I don't want to think this closely about it, but like, she's saying it's an infection. Is it like open? Is it raw? Because with wounds like that, usually it says keep it dry. And with its location and with using saline and with showering twice a day, wouldn't that be incredibly hard to do? Because her stomach is right there and it hangs down. It'd be incredibly hard to stop it getting rubbed and just having those issues because of its location. I feel like that's going to be very difficult for her.
Yeah, there's no OnlyFans drama. I mean,
yes, there is.
You know, if you want a refund, just let me know. I'll refund you your money. They're plain and simple. It's done. It's over with. You know. So, I was directing my anger towards the trolls who signed up just to leak my stuff. Like that's who I was directing it to.
Could I just point out that very calmly, was it in her previous live stream? She was like, oh, well, I know they're going to leak it. I'm not stupid. That's why I don't do anything on there that I mind being leaked. And it's been a known factor that her OnlyFans would immediately be out. So it wasn't the fact that it was leaked that was doing her in. It was the fact that she changed her mind, knew she'd get backlash for it, got backlash for it, got angry, told everybody to go weep because clearly everyone in her audience was trolls. And yes, of course, some of them were trolls. Of course there were. But a lot of her actual stans, all the sycophants that in her chat that are allowed through, went to support her and then got angry that they were all kind of tarred with the same brush. And I think that's a justifiable anger, because to completely stand for this woman and then have that directed to them is unacceptable. And you can argue that, okay, no, I was talking to the trolls, but in talking to the trolls, you were posting it for everyone. And people don't like that.
But every time I go on an anger tirade, I always forget that I don't explain that to my loyal fans, and they kind of get offended, some people.
It doesn't...
So anyways,
Kind of. It doesn't matter if you explain it. The fact is, people don't like... If you go into a room of people and you scream at everybody, and then you go, no, you and you, I wasn't talking to you, I'm screaming at everybody else. You still don't want to sit there being screamed at. Yeah? You're still having to go through that experience, whether it's directed at you or not. And you still don't appreciate being lumped in, even if now, post-tirade, you're saying, no, it wasn't to you. Sweetheart, it wasn't to you, don't worry. You still had to sit there and listen to it. You still had to sit there and receive that. No one deserves it. No one deserves it. And yes, okay, let's say there were just trolls in your audience. They were still subscribers, they still paid their money, and they still expected a month's worth of content. Now, can you argue she didn't specify she would post every day for the month or however much content? Yes, you can. But she got 2 or 3 days in, and I wouldn't call that fulfilling her end of the bargain, even if she didn't exactly specify how much content she was going to have. So I don't think people should have to reach out to her to get a refund, especially after her being like, suck it, trolls. Really, she should have gone, hey, yeah, wasn't for me, I'm refunding everybody. And that should have been it. So if she wanted it to be drama-free, actually it really could have been drama-free. But she didn't. That's not the way she went. And now she's kept $1,000 she's made and probably already spent a lot of it, which is why she obviously doesn't really want a refund. But she was getting such backlash, and from the people who usually really stan her, that she had no choice but to turn back on it. But to say, okay, you know, all right, ask me for a refund and I'll give you one. No, just refund everybody and then it's not an issue. But that's not where we are, so I guess that's it.
Talking about that. What was I going to say? Oh, actually, what's in my FabFitFun box, too? Yeah, that's why they sent me home. They were going to, like, keep me because it's an infection, but because I felt okay, like, I feel all right.
I mean, I imagine they'd want her out if they could have her out because of COVID.
Of spreading infection. They were going to let me go. They let me go within it. I was so happy I went there. So my reasoning was to go at like 6:30 in the morning. Very plain. There's not much sugar.
There shouldn't be.
I need berries. I wish I had some. I get there, the board, there's like nobody there. There's like 2 people there. One guy was throwing up the whole time.
Ooh.
I think he had like alcohol poisoning or not poisoning, but like something like that. They were talking about him. And he kept going up to the nurse and asking for apple juice. And she's like, we don't have juice. You have to. And I was asking for juice because I didn't.
Because apparently them saying to someone else, no, we don't have juice, we can't give it to you, isn't enough. So you checked for yourself. Why would you ask for that if you're telling us he did and he was told no? I don't understand.
I anticipate being there for like 12 hours, you know? And they're like, well, we can't give you juice. We can only give you ice chips in case we need to operate on you. And I'm like, of course, you know, of course. So that's true. And I'm like, damn. My room had a connecting bathroom to another room. And this poor girl just like broke my heart every time. I don't know, like this woman or somebody, every time they would go pee, they would like be like, ow, 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 ow.
I don't.
So I was like, oh my God.
Need that sound.
Like that would scare the crap out of me. I'm just like, must be a really bad bladder infection or something, you know?
Poor girl.
So there was like me and the barf guy, and then like nobody
Match made
else.
in heaven.
So I'm like, yes, I'm gonna get in soon. Then the board says 8-hour wait. I'm like, what? I was annoyed.
8-hour wait at an emergency room in the middle of a pandemic. Maybe get over yourself. Maybe. Yeah. 8-hour wait in a pandemic.
My fasting blood sugar was 14, which is very high, so they thought that I'm diabetic. Yeah. Hi, Natalie.
Your doctors have told you you're diabetic. You said this in your last live stream. Why didn't you tell the emergency room you were diabetic? That's more the question. Why did they have to test for that?
So it's not treated right now, so I have to talk to my doctor about that today.
Your doctor has tried to talk to you about that. Didn't you have bloods before? Didn't you say you were going to a clinic? Like, if it's untreated, given that you've been testing yourself and I would say you haven't been proactive, you haven't been active at all, you've been actively avoiding it and ignoring it, you've got no one to blame but yourself for this being uncontrolled diabetes right now. Please talk to your doctor about it. Please take their answers seriously and do what you're supposed to do.
He said to ask her about something called Ozempic, which helps you like lose weight and
I don't know that drug.
Control your diabetes.
I mean, it sounds like it would be a good idea.
He said that skin infections are at higher risk when you have uncontrolled diabetes.
Well, suddenly her legs and arm suddenly seem more sensible as well, don't they? More sensible, that was a weird way to say that, sorry. They make more sense. And whenever I've mentioned them on here, I've had a dozen comments down below saying, it's diabetic, whatever it is. And I was like, okay, I don't know. But it definitely could be, but we don't know. And maybe control your diabetes and see if it gets better. How's that for a thought? I don't know if I know she was pre-diabetic a year ago, but when it started a year ago, how bad was her diabetes then? It can only have gotten worse with her decline over this year.
That honestly, that's enough to make me go, fuck this shit. And start chowing down on the fucking quinoa and oatmeal because...
That's enough. That was the line. This is the hill upon which I die. Oh, that's a bad turn of phrase.
I'm just like over it. I'm like over going to the fucking ER.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they're over it too.
I'm like, this is sickening. This is like...
Probably not in the way you think it is.
Like, I'm literally gonna like die. Like,
yeah.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Genuinely, yeah. Think about the last year, guys, the decline she's shown. How is this moment the first time that's sunk in? Like, I know she's been incredibly stubborn and she's been incredibly defiant about it, but seriously, advanced fatty liver disease, diabetes, random arm and leg rot, random abscesses, enlarged spleen, morbidly obese, blood clots in your lungs, breathing issues, high blood pressure. Didn't she admit to high cholesterol in her last one as well? Or maybe it's this one I'm just remembering from the cut. Like, how is this the moment you realise that?
No, I'm not going to be eating eggs. Honestly, dairy, no.
Good.
And I know it's a drastic change, and ideally,
it's okay. You can do it.
When recovering from an eating disorder, those drastic changes don't help. But
yeah,
hold on. Excuse me.
Certain needs will outweigh it.
It's very sore.
Oh.
Don't you ever die? Oh. Sandra, I'm trying not to.
Try hard, please.
No eggs. Those hurt my stomach. Anything at the same time as this, I have to try and heal my C. diff gut and my
with our
microbiome
antibiotics
gut and everything. Ugh. So I was told to eat really high fiber.
She should look into supplements.
It's all carbs.
Well, if you eat lean proteins, veggies, which would where my thought would be, and you take fiber supplements though, is it that bad? I don't know. Very restrictive, but that bad?
So, I'm not even going to eat vegan cheese right now. I'm not eating anything processed. Just like the few foods that my stomach...
Not so much for the processing, but because I think vegan cheese would just make her miss regular cheese more, so...
I can tolerate because angry fupa. Joe is maybe still sleeping, I don't know.
Yeah, he missed the first part of the
I'm
stream.
buying a juicer. I'm not going on
Why?
a juice fast, but I want to have one because...
Let's for a moment, just for this moment, because I will get into it later, ignore my hatred of her love of juices. She owns a juicer. Guess where it is? Hashtag freebie. It's been a year. Why don't you have all your shit? Juices are expensive things, especially if, let's be optimistic and say she'd do vegetable juice. Optimism. You would need a proper juicer for that, and they're expensive. Is this where your OnlyFans money is going? Like, you don't need a juicer. Also, you don't need a big, bulky, expensive piece of machinery filling up more space in your already overfilled kitchen that you're only going to use 1 or 2 times. There are so many things wrong with the fact that she wants a juicer.
Make fresh juice in the morning. That like really makes me feel hydrated and just
drink a cup of water.
I just like having a glass of fresh juice.
Drink some water.
I find even when you do juice, I don't like filter it out, so I still have some of the pulp. So there's still some of the fiber.
A small amount of pulp left in juice is not going to change the fact that it's going to impact your blood sugar terribly. Is it slightly better in the sense of it's more natural, it does have a little bit more fiber than something like a pasteurized orange juice off the supermarket shelf? Yeah, sure. But is it going to be good for you with your myriad of problems? No. Let the juice go.
And there's a lot of nutrients, like micronutrients that you just get right away.
You take supplements.
Some fruit juice is not...
I looked into this. I looked into the list of things you usually get out of juices. She takes supplements. There's nothing in there that you won't get in your basic bog standard A to Z vitamin, let alone the fancy schmancy one she takes. Like, she doesn't need fruit juice as a source of those things.
Necessarily bad. Like, I don't know if people believe this or not, but I did read a lot about
Science isn't really a belief. It's not the tooth fairy.
And fruit sugar is not the same as processed sugar. Because, like, if you eat a whole, well, juice is different, I guess, but, like, fructose doesn't require insulin to enter cells. That's what some people are writing about. Not all sugars equal, Jasmine. That's not true. Well, that's what I read. Fat blocks the sugar to get into the cells, and that's the problem.
The science.
Yeah, I read that fat, like, apparently, like, high protein, like, apparently raises your blood sugar. That's what I read, too.
I don't know. So many things. All right, guys. You know how high fructose corn syrup isn't that great for you? You notice how the first 2 words in that are high fructose? You know where fructose is found? Shit she's drinking. Now, fructose in fruit arrives in a small amount with a balancing amount of fiber. So yes, if she's really, really increasing the fiber and she's eating it with the fruit juice, she could maybe help to balance it slightly. But hey, why don't you just eat some fruit? How about that? It would still up your blood sugar, but it wouldn't be that bad. But there's so many things she talks about, and I'm just like, that's not what it means. She has a tendency to cherry pick bits and pieces of information, not entirely understand them, not see them as part of a context of a study, and then see like, oh, so that proves that then. So for example, there are different types of sugar. Yes, there are. They will different sources of sugar will impact you in different ways, but at the end of the day, it's all fucking sugar. And the fructose that she's focusing on right now, such as is found in fruit juices, the thing with fructose, if you think fructose, sucrose, and what's the other one? Glucose. Yeah? They impact you slightly differently. But usually, if you're eating fructose in a reasonable amount, your gut will protect your liver a little bit because your liver has to break that down. Yeah? And your gut will protect it a little bit. But her gut is a mess, especially right now, but in general. So let's say the liver has to take all that on. And if she starts eating it in excessive amounts because she doesn't really seem to understand that natural sources of sugar also need to be controlled. The thing with fructose is it converts into fat quicker than some other sources of sugar. That's what I mean, like chemically, they do slightly different things. At the end of the day, sugar is pretty much sugar, but they do slightly different types of things. They work slightly differently. Then when the liver has to deal with that, it converts, if it's overwhelmed, it converts it to fat quickly, and you end up with little fatty deposits in your liver area. Does this sound at all familiar? Does this seem like it might be of a particular concern to Chantal? Yeah? Does it sound like it's going to help her personal set of circumstances with her fatty liver disorder? Now, clearly, with the crap Chantal eats on a regular basis, her fatty liver disease isn't just because she's eaten too much fructose. But it's certainly not going to help. And also, fructose can lead to an increase in bad cholesterol if taken excessively. Any sugar from any source is bad for you if taken excessively. So she really should focus more on just reducing and limiting the amount she's taking in than worry too hard on where it's coming from.
There you go, Twinka. You can do what you want. I'm going to do what I want. What they did at the ER
As
was,
always.
I had started some IV antibiotics. Yeah, so
Her
antibiotics,
stomach's going to be
IV
even more fucked
fluids.
than it was.
They gave me like a bunch of Toradol, which is like a NSAID. They didn't have to drain anything. I was happy about that, actually. So I went for a CT scan. The guy who took me there, the porter, like they wheel your bed into the CT room. He was so nice. Oh my God, he
That's nice.
like put the blankets on me and tucked in my feet. Then he even like whenever he brought me back, he's like, they're supposed to give you a call bell. So he wrapped my call bell around the thing. I got up, had a good hour, showered, brushed my teeth, washed my face. I have a really nice good. I'm gonna do a favorite. This face wash is amazing.
I'd be here for any content that wasn't
honey.
food.
Ooh, that's a good idea. And banana.
Oh.
I wish I had those things.
Brown sugar, honey, and banana. Let's take all the higher sugar things we can find. And brown sugar, again, it's not even, I was going to say, people say, okay, well, it's less processed. Not really. It tends to be colored brown. And so people assume. But it's still terrible for you. It's still going to have a terrible impact on your blood sugar. So to mix it with honey, now as far as I understand, honey is slightly lower on the glycemic index, but it's still going to have an impact. And bananas, which are hugely high. Bananas, this always surprised me. Like if you think of a piece of white bread is something like 69 on the glycemic index, bananas are like 62. They're not far behind at all, even though they're fruit. So she really, like, please do not do that. I'm so glad she doesn't have those things because she just dumped them in the oatmeal and assumed she was good. And I was just like, oh, no, honey. And this is an example of what I mean by when I'm saying get professional help, because the little bits and pieces she gathers from the internet that she puts together and believes are going to result in her having some actual genuine health crises. Because she's going to be so convinced she's doing the right healthy thing. The idea of health just, it doesn't make sense in her own context.
Lavera, I'm going to get some. I can't remember the name of the brand. That's the problem. It's like one I found on Instagram, I thought. Like one of those gimmicky commercials, but it actually works really well. Aloe something? A-L-O or something like that. Peanut butter. I haven't placed the order for my groceries yet.
She said she had.
I'm going to.
She said she was getting them delivered.
I need to clean out my fridge and my cupboards first. So, I was at Beezer the other day and bought these.
Cream eggs. Chocolate eggs filled with fondant. Literal gobs of sugar. Jesus.
I'm getting rid of them.
Really?
I'm going to pack up all the food that I'm not going to eat, like packaged processed stuff, and give it to the food banks.
Didn't work for you before?
Round 2.
Yeah.
I have some PB powder, but I have I have some almond butter.
Wait.
No.
PB powder would actually not be the end of the world there because it's powder, it's been all reduced down and it's much lower fat, but almond butter, even if it's almonds, is still butter. It's still going to be massively fatty. Don't do that.
Keto right now.
Yeah, I don't think keto's probably a
My
good
gut
idea
needs
for her
a
right
lot
now.
of fiber. And because I don't have a gallbladder and I have liver problems.
Yeah.
It's never too late until it is, you know, but
Jesus.
as long as I'm still kicking around.
I'm not sure how I feel about that statement, you guys. Initially, I was just like, oh, that's sad. And then I was like, yeah, sometimes it is too late. But at the same time, I really wanted to change. I wanted to realize how good it can be. I don't know if she ever will, but I hold out that little hope for her, you know? So on one hand, it's never too late. Yeah, you're alive, you can make a change. But that never too late until it isn't just sat really like, oh, kind of wrong with me, but at the same time, I don't think she realizes how grim a statement that comes off as. I don't know.
You could be you could fail over and over and over, you know, it doesn't, anyone can change.
100% anyone can change.
I did do a short-term juice cleanse.
Please be a person. Don't.
Now.
No. Let go of the juices. No.
I can't do that because my liver is like overloaded already. So if I do any kind of fast, it'll just be too much on my liver to like process all the detox.
It will be too much on your liver to process all the fructose coming from those juices, coming in hard from those juices. Not all the detox. Your liver is there to detox. It's doing its job if it's detoxing. But you overload it with fructose and you're going to be in trouble. Plus, hey there, ma'am, diabetes. Hi, do you remember the last time you tried this? You felt faint and dizzy? You remember that? Can you please just learn from your past mistakes, please?
And plus, I really need to,
diabetes.
I mean, I'm going to eat super clean food, which should
control
be
blood sugar.
The second best thing.
A fucking juice fast is not the first best thing. Can we just wipe that right now? I should be eating clean, proper food. That is your best thing. Jesus.
Almond butter, yeah.
Oh, just add some fat. Go on, do it.
Oh, God.
Please stop saying that word, please.
I hope it goes away. If it doesn't go away, I have to go back and wait another...
To the emergency room? If it doesn't go away, at this point, if you've got the antibiotic, wouldn't the answer to be finish the course, see it's not okay, and go to a doctor? Because if you know the end of your antibiotics are coming and you know it's an ongoing issue, you have time to talk to your doctor rather than go to the emergency room. How about that as an option?
8 hours. I actually don't want any more right now.
Okay, I mean, it doesn't look very appetizing. That looks horrible. You know how it separates? Look at the oil on the top of that.
Nuts are high in fat, though.
Yeah, like, mate, you don't need it.
I mean, they're good fat, but still.
Why is she mixing this if she doesn't want the oatmeal?
I don't want to get diarrhea.
Oh.
I'm waiting for my juices. I ordered...
She's already ordered them.
Some cold-pressed juices, but they're vegetable ones, like kale and vegetable juices. Maybe I told Joe he can delete. He has power today. I don't want any drama.
Doesn't want to talk about OnlyFans. God, her breathing. Oh, I think actually at this point I cut out she had gone somewhere and come back. So that's why her breathing is quite that bad.
I don't want anyone insulting Joe. He can delete them. I don't want people mentioning anybody I don't like.
Or any OnlyFans.
And the other mods can do that too. For today.
Because I never let them otherwise.
My bullshit threshold. Okay, I can't stir this shit anymore.
If your bullshit threshold is out of whack, stop producing it. Probably it will calm down.
Honestly. Like, it's so fucking messy. Oh, don't time out Dark Queen. Don't time out people for talking about keto. Joe. Jeez.
I kept that in because I was like, that's seems a bit of a mixed message. Way to gaslight him, dude. Like, no, you have power today. You ban people. You put down that hammer. Go, Joe. I know I've been strict with you in past days because I changed my mind. But no, you hammer those people. Go. Joe, I can't believe you timed this woman out. Joe creeps me out like you wouldn't believe. Their whole relationship creeps me out like you wouldn't believe. But excuse me.
Hold on. Okay.
Oh, that looks horrible.
Honestly.
Do you not put it in the fridge and try and firm it up a little bit so you can mix it?
I can't.
You've got no patience.
All right, let's see what I got in my box. They didn't say anything about my liver yesterday, no.
Oh, I mean, it's the emergency room. Why would they?
All right, so first thing I got
What is
this weird looking...
Is that for OnlyFans?
Out of it. What the fuck?
That looks like OnlyFans material.
All right, that's cute. Do you guys think that's cute?
Is it a flask?
Or
Yeah.
stupid?
A little bit of both, to be honest.
I thought it was something else. I know when I was unboxing it, I'm like...
That looked like...
I've already seen what these...
That looked like your upgrade from your bouncy ball, quite frankly.
items are, but I want to show you guys. I was like, what the F is this?
Oh, so she's seen these. It's not an
on my
unboxing.
counter.
You? No. Too many things on the counter. I can't believe it. I won't believe it.
Give me a minute.
That's rather than maple syrup.
Alright. I have a hat that won't even fit my fat head. Will it? Let's try it. I don't trust myself around safety pins.
Why? They're
Why do they call them
literally
safety
safety
pins?
pins.
They're not safe.
Because they're literally safe. I don't trust myself. They're designed so people don't... Because they're not straight pins. The pin's not exposed. They are safer for your fingers because you pop the pin behind the wire. What is... Jesus. She needs an adult. That hat doesn't help that image.
Fit.
Yeah. I mean, if it's any consolation, it's a really ugly hat. So, even if it weren't her, even if it weren't a fit issue, I don't think anyone should wear that hat. But it's not a good look for her, to be fair.
I wish it fit, but...
Nah, you shouldn't wear it
fat.
anyway. Smile, my head's too fat for
I got this hat. This is cool.
A planner.
Daily planner, steel mill to-do planner.
Was the
2 dual tip highlighters. Sticker pack set of 5. Wow, let me...
Excited about her sticker pack. Did she not just spend like 50 or 70 or some ridiculous amount of money on a journal quite recently from like a YouTuber that she hasn't been using? Like, I mean, it's fine. Oh, it's pretty, be excited, but what's she gonna do with that other than just let it prop up something else?
Just open it. So I'm gonna cook later tonight for Peace. I'm gonna make him, I have this sliced ribeye, very thin. I'm gonna make him some beef bulgogi.
I'm guessing she's gonna eat some of that.
When am I starting my Twitch? I'm not sure.
Never.
I have to think carefully.
Next summer, but actually never.
Cool. Stickers, highlighters.
I mean, it's
and
pretty,
daily
but...
planner, which I already have one from Jordan. But...
Yeah, that's it. Jordan Shrinks, is it? She's still not using that one, so...
That's pretty cool. Hold on, guys.
It's a nice box.
I'm trying to get out all the stuff so the cats can have the box.
No!
Earth.
You just cleared Box Mountain. Don't throw boxes for the cats to have. The cats have a cat tree. They'll survive. You break that box down and you put it in the trash. That is the only place in the recycling. Do not start this again. It's so soon after you cleared your boxes.
Harbor, Marina, Biome Brightening, Spirulina. Let's try some because I don't have any
Spirulina comes
stuff
from
on my face.
seaweed, right? I feel like it does.
Smells like seaweed.
Oh, then yes, I guess it does.
Oh shit.
Her skin sounds so dry when she rubs it.
I have a watch, which I won't wear because it probably wouldn't even fit. Watch. I don't like...
So far she's had the weird sex toy cactus. She's had the watch that she won't wear, which, same, even if they fit. Like, I'm really sensitive to base metals, and so I just end up getting rashes from watches. She's had the hat that's too small for her head. This box doesn't seem great value for her so far.
Watches. Maybe I could give it to Pete.
I mean, he wears girls' glasses. He might like the watch. It seems fairly pretty for what it is.
I'll give it away.
Waste of money, but okay.
I got this Larkin Ives.
What's that?
Live Life in Full Bloom hair scarf set.
Oh.
What is that?
Hair scarves, like.
Oh, it's pretty. You could tie it on your purse.
You could tie it around your head.
You can tie it in your hair.
Yeah, just a bit like my nan used to wear. You put them over as if you're a 1950s starlet in an open hood car, like covering up your hair.
I'll probably tie it. Maybe I'll buy a pink or white purse and tie it on there.
Or just use it as it's intended to be used. Why not?
And tweezers with pouch. Do need to do my chin hairs.
Oh. I thought she got that electric thing to do her chin hair, because I remember her saying chin hairs and me being like, oh, beautiful. Didn't she have from another FabFitFun box that electric one?
How cute this is.
That is quite cute.
All right. Got some interesting things.
So that's, how much does that box cost? And the only...
I can plan things like my videos.
The only thing she actually may potentially use is the tweezers.
Oh, and I got these. These are like cosmetic pads to wipe away your makeup or whatever. You get 3 of them.
Makeup?
You can wash them. I think it actually puts water in the things.
Oh, that seems like a terrible idea. How are you going to clean that? She didn't say it came with like a special brush. If it's putting liquid, hopefully she only ever uses water. But if it's putting liquid into the little army guys, you're never going to be able to get a sponge up there to clean it properly. If she ever puts soda in that,
so
she's
I found
done.
some things in the cupboard I knew I had from last time I was eating healthier.
Rotting in there.
I found this brown rice pasta, vegetable spirals. Ingredients: brown rice, carrot powder, tomato powder, spinach powder, and water. Clean ingredients. What's the expiry date?
Question: in terms of kind of carbohydrates and impact, is special ass brown rice pasta going to be any better or worse than, say, a whole wheat pasta? Because I mean, it's swapping a carb for a carb. Usually when you replace pasta, you replace it with like a bean or a soy or something, because it's lower carb. That seems weird, because whole wheat pasta would still have fiber in it. So does she need brown rice pasta?
2023. I'm gonna have that. I have some tins of tomatoes.
Okay.
Low sodium San Marzano tomatoes.
All right, seems all right.
This I found nutritional yeast flakes. Because I can't have dairy right now, maybe this can help. I can make a cheese sauce. I have carrots, potatoes, nutritional yeast.
The cheese.
I can make a fat-free or very low fat cheese sauce to go on the pasta. What do you guys?
I mean, I wouldn't be, if it's a non-dairy sauce, if it's not going to make her go, man, I wish I had cheese, then yeah, okay, you might be able to make it in a healthy way that wouldn't impact you so much. It depends what all the ingredients are, I suppose.
I think.
The bananas.
Nutritional yeast, yeah, it tastes like, not exactly like cheese, but your diabetic cookbook? Yeah, I downloaded a cookbook already, but what's going on with my liver? I have fatty liver and I have to try to reduce it.
That'd be great.
Yeah, this is hemp's. It helps my skin. Alright, so that's a good idea. I'm going to cook that later. Did the doctor say? No. I said, how should I care for this? He just said, take the antibiotics.
Yeah.
Try to keep it dry.
That's the thing.
I'm going to call it juice.
It's going to be in a roll. She's going to be showering twice a day and using saline. It's going to be so hard to keep that dry.
Place and see what time. Give me a minute.
This ordering of the juices is killing me, you guys.
Talk to my doctor
Here's the
about
thing.
supplements.
Oh, hang on. Yes. Oh. Has she done that yet?
If you're overweight, you have some fat deposits on your liver. Yeah. Lemon water.
I think you'd be on high risk for it, but surely it depends how overweight you are and what your diet's like. I feel like there'd be a balance here. Every fat person in the world does not have fatty liver disease. So,
true snowy clips. Okay, hold on a minute. Juice will spike. No, I'm not gonna have just juice. It's homemade nut milks. So I can put that in my oatmeal and then...
Good. I'm not going to have just juice. I'm going to have oatmeal. Nut milk. Fine. Have the nut milk. You're fine. You're good. It's all fine. But you're still going to be drinking the juice. And it's still going to impact your blood sugar. Like, what makes you think the fact that you're also planning on having nut milk is going to change the fact that the juice you drink is going to spike your blood sugar? That's a non sequitur.
It's a juice. It's a green juice. So it has like spinach. I think the only fruit it has is some green apple, lemon, ginger.
Those are all great ingredients, yeah? I think if she's getting a nut milk as well, she's probably ordered it from the same place she ordered that juice fast from, which I'll have to go back and check my other video for that. But I did a video on her saying like juicing again. There's pictures of juice in front of me in the video. It's in my history somewhere. And she ordered from this place that did that. But the thing with green juices, although it's great, green juices I think would be okay for her, but you mostly fill it with something like apple, which is mentioned, because it makes it more palatable. Most green juices have a little bit of the vegetable and then have mostly something like green apple and carrot or something. Well, not green juice for carrot, but it relies on the fruit to make it drinkable because of the taste. So I'm very concerned when she says, okay, it's a green juice, what percentage of it is actually vegetable? Because of mostly vegetable juice has got a much better chance of not hurting her than one that's got vegetables in it but is mostly fruit.
I'm not going to have a lot of it. They're only 250 milliliter bottles.
That's still
my
a serving.
She's actually doing a little better.
Oh, good. That's good. We don't get any more of an update.
And not that I'm like vegan, but I'm going to be eating probably mostly plant-based right now to try to, because it's higher fiber and a lot of dairy, number one, I can't have because I have to break up with dairy, honestly.
She really, really does. Can I just say, usually my first instinct with her with vegan food is to roll my eyes so hard it hurts. But in this case, it does seem like most of the other food would be off limits. So lean meat, I would say. Lean meat like chicken or turkey or whatever. But actually, yeah, if she can't eat mostly dairy, she's not going to have that many choices.
As hard as it's going to be, and it's going to be really hard.
Yep.
It's just so bad for my stomach. Like it just, oh my God.
Even if she could keep off it for a couple of weeks, think how much better she'd... I'm not saying, oh, I hope she gets off it forever. Because as much as I hope she does, I don't think she could. But at this point, have we seen her get through a week? I wanted to get through a week. I think I've been saying this since the beginning of my channel. Just a week.
Eats too, honestly. Maybe lean chicken. I don't know.
That seems reasonable.
But for now, I need to eat things that are really high in fiber. So maybe I'll add some chicken sometimes to my dishes. But
yeah. Okay.
I'm trying to like, I'm freaking out. Yeah, yogurt, yes, but
I bet she is freaking out. I bet she is.
This is your sister. What I can do is buy coconut yogurt, which has the same. It has.
Doesn't that also have a lot of sugar?
Bacterial cultures as well, and it tastes amazing. It tastes like yogurt.
I remember her trying that.
And it won't irritate my stomach, you know. And plus, I have to watch like saturated fats because of my liver. So.
But coconut is a saturated fat.
Have a lot of saturated fat. They have. That's all like. Plant-based doesn't have any saturated fat, really. I think coconut does. There's there is some that have some saturated fat, but very, very...
To be fair to her, if she were eating a balanced and full diet everywhere else, and I say that as, I mean, within the plant-based sphere, then a little bit of coconut wouldn't hurt her. The problem she usually has is that she has all this crap in addition with everything else she eats, and everything is just too much.
Very low. So just until I can get my liver out, I'm not saying I'm going vegan, but just until I can heal a bit, you know?
Yeah, I think fish...
You can make your own coconut yogurt? Oh, wow, I'll have to look that up.
She's got an Instapot. She totally could do that.
Yeah. No.
don't give it. This is the problem I have with her audience, where she's talking about massive health disorders. Even if it's unrealistic and she doesn't stick to it, she's at least, which is the first time for a while, she's at least in a mindset where she's like, yeah, I really can't do this. And it might only be the drunk's hangover regret stage that lasts an hour or two, but she's there at the moment, and the response her audience is giving her, her chat is giving her, is Oreos are vegan. And I'm like, seriously? Do you want her to die? Why are you planting that in her head?
No, it'll be clean, non-processed. Coconut can be high in saturated. Yeah, it can be.
But
broccoli right now
everything
is
else
not
is
my
gone.
friend because cruciferous vegetables actually
that's fair.
make me really gassy. So
I mean, gassy and shit yourself. So
I'm trying to just eat things right now that will help me with my like. There's not very much food I can tolerate with like sending me to the bathroom. Like the oatmeal hasn't sent me to the bathroom, so that's good.
Which genuinely,
but,
given how far we were into the live here, it's been a rarity for her. But can you imagine, guys, considering that she's admitting how few foods there are that just don't make her miserable, how miserable she must have been over the last year, but since it's gotten this bad, eating the way she's been eating. Like, her life around what we see on camera must be absolute torture, just constantly being at the mercy of your digestive system.
Yeah. What smells? My thing draining stinks.
Oh, that's horrible.
The stuff, yeah, I have to keep it clean. I have like 2 or 3 showers. I'm gonna have like 2 or 3 showers a day. I had a shower maybe like before I came on here.
Keep it dry. How?
And then I cleaned it with saline and put gauze, but it's like draining.
Ooh.
So it's like infection, right? So it's like draining some kind of fluid, and it's just stinks.
I mean, it's a completely natural part of getting rid of infection. I understand. I'm not saying that it's a weird thing for her. Like, it's an unfortunate, unpleasant reality. But, ugh.
It's really nasty. Yeah, it's painful. They didn't give me anything like that, Marissa. They just gave me antibiotics. But I still had some supplies from the last time I got nursing on my other thing on my back.
Yeah,
so I'm just using the gauze and the it's not wrapped, it's just open in the free.
Oh.
I know it stinks.
That's going to be incredibly difficult to heal then. If it's not wrapped, I mean, she's using some of the gauze, I guess, to separate that area from the bottom of her stomach that's hanging over it, which at least will give it a chance to not rub and stay kind of dry, but that's going to be very difficult to heal just because of the location.
It's nasty. Yeah, I'm on amoxicillin. I think that's what it's called.
I'm guessing from the fact that it's penicillin.
It's a huge infected area. It's like really swollen and red, and
strong.
Then there's like a bit of draining on one side. Attack of the fupa. Yeah, it's gross. It's like,
how on earth did it get to that state
really
without
bad.
him knowing?
It's like really inflamed right now.
How do you get to that point?
I put a bunch of, after I clean it with saline, I put stick a bunch of gauze, and then I have to change the gauze. I clean it with saline and then change the gauze because I don't know, they don't give a cause for what caused it.
I mean,
I don't know.
Is this the same as like cellulitis, which I hear a lot in reference with ALR, who said she had it before? Like, it doesn't seem like a good sign. All I hear is that it's a lot of danger in cellulitis and other skin infections because things don't heal up and it just gets worse and worse. Like, she's really got to take care of this. I think that was a conversation that was had when she had her back problem, and that did heal, but this sounds like it's going to be in an awkward spot.
No, I don't need a nurse right now. Keep it dry, yeah.
Yeah, she can reach it herself now, so she doesn't need nurse.
I feel gross because the fluid like does leak down there still, like even though I have gauze. So what I have to do is like
replace it.
I like to shower to
pack it.
I hate that gross, unclean feeling down there.
No,
Billy Ann, the doctors don't talk about like, well, the doctor yesterday talked about the fiber thing with me and the inflammation of the bowels and stuff and the C. diff, so that was good. But that's like the first time. They don't usually talk about diet really a lot, honestly.
Well, that's because it's an emergency room. You're going to go with an issue, they're going to do the things related to that issue, and they're going to mention the things related to that issue, and then they're going to say, hey, follow up with your doctor. And the doctor is the one who can talk to you about things. They're not going to give you like a full plan moving forward. The point is, especially in the middle of COVID, where hospitals are overrun, people are working extremely hard, not that they don't always, but they're under extra pressure. The emphasis is going to be get you in, patch you up, get you out, and get you following up somewhere that isn't under as much pressure, hopefully.
Especially not at the ER.
Yeah.
You literally are what you eat. So true. I honestly believe that. I always did.
Imagine what that makes her.
When you eat bad food, you just feel like shit so bad. Yeah, I had abdominal pads when I had my surgery and they had to do an incision there.
Yeah, so she's used to
No,
taking
it's not
care
an
of it.
ingrown hair. Yes, I'm fully aware my situation is troubling.
What a terrible attitude. I'm fully aware of that. Well, yeah, sorry. Was someone showing concern for you? I mean, that could have been a troll, to be completely honest. But, you know, if on the surface someone is showing care for you, this goes back to that OnlyFans thing when she's ranting at everyone. Yes, I'm fully aware because she's so sensitive about it, because she knows it's true and she doesn't like it. You're like, hey, someone's trying to say something to you.
They don't know what caused it. Oh, the cat food stinks.
Don't have it on the table next to you.
So I gotta clean like
while you're
mad
eating
today. At least the kitchen.
It's so bad she's putting that over her face and she doesn't move it off the sodding counter. Come on now. And also, can you imagine the state of that kitchen? When she cleared the boxes and was showing it to us, it was still in quite the state. So how bad it must be now for her to be saying, no, I gotta clean it. Oh.
A hot and compress. No, they said there's nothing to open and drain. So they wouldn't do that.
If they didn't, I was assuming a wound. If they didn't open this up, what's leaking? Oh, what a horrible phrase.
Okay, let's try that place again.
Oh, gotta get your juices. Gotta spike your blood.
Hi, is this the juice place?
You don't have the name of it?
Yeah, I was just checking. I'm not sure if I have an order today or not.
What's she doing with her eyes?
Chantal? Yeah, do you know around what time?
Stop picking your
Oh,
face.
okay, that's good to know. Between 4 and 7. So the juices I got are green juices and homemade milk. Not milk. There's no sugar. They don't add sugar.
But they add fruit. Just the same thing. Same thing in juice form.
It's kale juice and cucumber and
apple.
Good stuff, I'm telling you.
I'm telling you. It's
I
natural, so it's
in my
good.
hair.
Oh.
I'm bald because
I was assuming, like I know that she's got hair loss. I was assuming that was great, actually. We don't often see her without her stuff in her hair.
Why am I going bald? Probably a hormonal problem.
Yes, she said hormones.
I'm buying a juicer for myself.
No need.
It's not Herbalife. It's a cold pressed juice place.
Like that
so they
makes
just
a
make,
difference.
With their juicer, they just make juice and they deliver it. But yeah, I have to make my own juices. But I'm lazy and I don't have a juicer, so I have to buy one.
You don't have to. Yes, the juices you're buying are an enormous waste of money, but you don't have to buy a juicer. Juicers are hundreds of dollars. And yes, the stupid juice place you're ordering from, is, if it's the same one, is also massively expensive. But let's be real. How often are you going to do this? You're already saying you're lazy. Juicers are a lot of time, a lot of energy, and they're messy. You have to clean them. And you have to clean them really thoroughly because they're fiddly. So I don't think even if you get one, you're going to use it.
Secondhand lingerie online?
Oh.
Buying it or selling it?
Sounds terrible
really
either way. I don't think you should do that.
Yeah, these are like natural juices, guys. They're not sugar added juices.
As opposed to alien juices.
Processed sugar and natural sugar, I just think they're different.
You think wrong. I'm being insulting. There are minor differences, but for your case, for how you're consuming them, and for the issues you're facing with sugar, you just should limit your intake regardless. Limiting your intake is going to be far more beneficial than the type of sugar you're eating.
You're allowed to disagree, but
I'm allowed? How generous of you. I'm allowed, am I?
They didn't say it's cellulitis, no.
Oh, are they different?
Edema, and like, they just said infection and edema.
I'm guessing edema is just swelling, right? It's a catch-all term to mean swelling. So a swelling that got infected, but why was it swelling in the first place? Questions?
Like the CT says, well, it is debatable, Kaylee, because if you look up fruit sugar, and like there's so many doctors and nutritionists out there that will tell you that fat is the problem with diabetes and not natural sugar. So I mean, yeah, there's a lot of
if there is a nutritionalist telling you that sugar is not a problem with diabetes, then you need to stop seeing that nutritionalist. There is a reason they are not a doctor. And I don't know what doctors you're talking to aside from that, but excuse you, absolutely not.
Different sources out there.
There are different sources in the sense that some are right and some are wrong.
You're going on a high carb diet. You know, their diabetes by going on a high carb diet, natural carbs and processed carbs. So the science on that is not debatable.
And then carbs versus sugars, where it's coming from, what you're doing with it, the fibers. You're confusing a lot of different issues here. You're confusing a lot of different issues and you're calling them the same, and it's not true.
They're very different. You're right. What about that guy that went on Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead? He went on a 60-day juice fast and he reversed all his illnesses.
Okay, I didn't know this guy. I've looked him up. Well, I can't remember his name now. Robert Chase, maybe? So I looked him up and I was like, wait, did he have? Because if he had the same issues she had and he cured them, I'd be interested in seeing that. I'd be interested in looking at the science behind that. Because maybe she's got a point and I'm not aware. And I looked him up and he was really overweight. He was 300 and something pounds, like 22 stone. And he did a 60-day juice cleanse, and God love him for staying on it, because I don't think I could do that. I don't think I could do a week, quite frankly. But he did it, and then he switched into a healthy diet, which is something she's not thinking of right here. The point is to do the cleanse and then switch into healthy eating, which is something, even if she could maintain the cleanse, which, dude, she hasn't been able to thus far. But the thing was, his issues were not diabetes. So he had autoimmune issues, and I believe some kind of like skin rash, skin hive issue. So diabetes and the idea that this might tank his blood sugar doesn't appear, based on the small research I did, to be an issue he was facing. If I'm wrong about that, excuse me, because I don't know all the details of this documentary, but based on a short Google search, he didn't appear to be facing fatty liver and, more importantly for the juice thing, diabetes, although the juice thing, like I said, with the fructose does affect the liver as well. So for his issues, maybe he was successful, but his issues are not her issues and her issues were not his. So you're comparing apples and oranges here.
Like I said, it's not debatable for me. Like, this is what I believe. You don't have to.
Again, science
you're
is
allowed
not
your
a
opinion.
belief.
I don't really care, honestly.
I know you don't care because you're an insufferable woman, but you don't care because anything that doesn't agree with what you want it to be is stupid.
Joe wants to block you, Mike. So that's what I believe, and that's what I'm going to keep believing.
One day I want a deathmatch fight between Mike and Joe.
Your body needs natural sugar. Like,
carbon shut up.
Is what, like, most, like, everything needs carbon or carbohydrates. I can't remember what they said about, like, the carbon.
Millions of people do a low-carb diet. You will not die without carbs. Is it the right choice for her right now? I don't know. She's got so many issues. I don't know what to recommend, but it's not my specialty. I'm just talking from lived experience. She needs a team of professionals. She needs to listen to what they say and actually do it. And she needs them all working together.
But, like, your body needs, like, good carbohydrates. Like, that's your preferred fuel source for a reason, you know?
Just let it go.
I don't really care about my channel growing. I'd rather have a healthy environment on my YouTube than worry about growth of. It's more about quality over quantity for me.
Okay, that is a valid thing. However, that is something you will never have on YouTube because you don't have the consistency to grow that audience. Generally speaking, if you think, okay, 5 to 10% of just full out trolls who are gonna say shit to people no matter what, 90% of what you get on your channel is a reflection of what you put out on your channel. She's got a mixed audience because she gives mixed content. She gets attitude because she gives attitude for the most part. Now, there are obvious exceptions. There's always going to be trolls in the world, but you cultivate an audience. And although she's saying right now, okay, well, I don't care if my channel grows, she's working on the assumption, okay, if things stay the way they are now, I'll live. I don't care. I'd rather not deal with the bullshit. But in order for her to cull a lot of the trolls from her channel, which she does not actually have control of. I don't think she ever will manage to do that. But even if she were consistent in doing one thing, whatever that thing was, and people lost interest, that wouldn't be maintaining the status quo because she wouldn't just stop the growth of her channel. It wouldn't just stagnate. It would, over time, lessen because a lot of the factors that she brings into her channel now that make it quite toxic also make it entertaining for many. And so without that, her channel's not going to stay the same. It might not grow, definitely wouldn't grow, but also it can go the other way and she's not really factoring that in.
I don't want like a whole bunch of trolls and everything giving me views.
Which
I don't
is
really care,
understandable,
honestly.
but you'll care when your views go
my
down.
mental health is worth a lot more than constant negativity and drama. So
it definitely is, but as you're bringing a fair portion of that negativity and drama, don't be surprised that you get it back. Your own problematic behavior results in a lot of the response that you get. Now, not all. Like I said, 5 to 10%, just fucking trolls. And they're trolling on everybody and you just happen to be there. But you are responsible for a lot of the response that you get. So to say, okay, my mental health is worth more, absolutely it is. But you will never leave YouTube. You earn too much on here. It's too central to your life. And you will not be able to change yourself enough to change your audience enough. So it's just something you're going to have to deal with. I don't think there is a tipping point at which she could change the attitude of her watchers when she's come this far being the way she is.
I'm not worried about it. I'm really not. And actually, eventually,
Good.
I'm sure
At
that
least
it will
it's
grow
something.
with positive people if you keep all the negativity out.
But you wouldn't. You would block a lot of people, but that's not the same thing. Because it just makes you a small island surrounded by the audience that will turn on you more and more for being blocked. So that's not the same as removing it from your channel.
I can't wait to make that pasta.
Still thinking about food?
Never had cellulitis. I do like smoothies, but not as much as juices.
I don't think it would be any better.
I like the
for
just
you.
readily available, like just
Convenience.
I find it very hydrating and thirst quenching. Like if I just want something
Shut
like
up
that.
about hydrating. Just drink some water.
But not just water, like, for electrolytes. Like, fruits and vegetables have natural electrolytes, so when you juice them...
Electrolytes are essentially just salt and sugars, right?
What I like to do is juice them, but not strain them. So if you don't strain out, like, there's some pulp still that remains when you do juice. It's not just... That's why whenever you leave a juice for a while, there's water, and then there's the sediment. Yeah. You have to shake it. So all that sediment has fiber, not...
It has a tiny amount. It's nowhere near enough to fully offset the impact of the juice on your blood sugar.
As much as eating it. Need coffee? Yeah, coffee. Oh my gosh, that's the number one poop thing for me. Like, I can't.
She always goes to Starbucks. Combines it with sugar.
That's my goal. Like, I keep thinking motivation stuff. I want to walk from my old job. Like, in my hometown, I used to walk this every day. All the way to where I used to live. It's a long walk. I want to be able to do that.
I mean, that's not a bad goal to have. I mean, when she said motivation, I was like, bitch, dying ain't enough. But you need little things to keep you going. The big picture can feel very far away, even when it's breathing very close to your neck. So I think she said this as well, being able to walk downtown. That is something she could start on right now. She could do it slowly, she could do it carefully, but it would be a thing she could work on. And I would love her to do that. I'd love her to do more walk with me videos. I'd love her to put some kind of movement goal into her life. So if she does it, I am here for it.
That would be awesome. I always have dreams that I'm walking long distances.
Imagine
my doctor
that
knows
being
very
a
little
dream.
about nutrition, honestly. So look it up.
Oh, with the attitude. Your doctor might not be a dietitian. Your doctor might not know exactly, but your doctor will know fucking diabetes. He'll know when your blood sugar is going through the roof. And yes, you might go to a more specialized person to help you work on like a meal plan, but he's going to know enough for what you're doing.
Natural sugar is not the same. Knowing about nutrition and actually doing it is two different things. You can know a lot,
You're doing
but you
neither
just
at
don't
this
apply
point.
it. Look at this, everybody. Mr. Solid.
Yeah.
Here's Beezer.
Yeah. Hi everybody, bye everybody.
Whoa. Pete's was not having it, and also I was being a bit of a troll leaving that shot in, but her talking about nutrition and then being like, look at the chocolate! Look, Pete's is a Beezer. How are your cream eggs, my darling?
No, I won't be going to any clinics. I went to one already.
So that's
Nope,
it.
not on
Don't
a
need
diet.
any more.
But I have all these.
You are clearly
I
on a
don't
diet.
have a big sweet tooth, but I'm going to give them away. I'll give them, I don't know. I don't know if they'll take them, my mom. Or
There is no way
maybe my
she's
mom
giving
will
those
take
away.
them.
It's not going to happen.
Do you think this almond butter is good now?
It looks awful, man.
Let's try.
So liquidy. I mean, nut butters
No,
do
it's
look
not
like
gonna
that, but
I don't think.
I'd refrigerate it, I think. But when it's all separated like that, it's going to taste weird.
Tastes weird. There
Yeah.
used to be a place I could go where you could get like homemade almond butter. Make almond butter.
Again,
Yeah.
Again, very high fat. You don't need it. You're trying to eat
Can't
low
you just
fat.
whip it in a food processor?
Probably, if it was good enough. If the food presser was
The medical system
hardcore.
is okay. I mean, obviously it could be better, but it's not bad.
Oh. It's available when you need it, and it's not giving you bills that are tossing you out of house and home. Just be grateful for what you have.
Ah, yes, Marissa, I can finally use my... So, I'm going to make my own almond butter.
Why?
And hummus.
You want
I
low
love
fat.
hummus. Oh my god. So what I need to do, it's a big project. I need to clean out my whole kitchen. I'm going to order baker's rack to put all my shit, my cooking new things on it. Because I won't be eating out. Yes, I said it.
Yeah, you said it. Let's try doing it. Try doing it, and I will be impressed, and I will be happy for you. I don't think the kitchen has to be that big a project, but I do think it's nice that she's doing it. I still think she should YouTube from that inset and then have her shelves on the other side, because she's got room for the shelves there, and it would still give her a great filming area, but I don't think she cares enough about her channel to make an effort in that way. But it's really good she's getting some shelving, because just moving all the big stuff out of the cupboards into one place and out of like the sideboards and things will do a lot for making her apartment look better. So it's not on the counter, it's not on the sides, it's not on random pieces of furniture, just all in one place.
I put all my spices and everything readily available. I'm not on a diet, I'm on a lifestyle change.
I mean,
I'm on a healing journey.
I can't even throw it back at her, because that's what I said in my last react. I was like, come on, this is the actual time. So, okay, yes, you are. So could you stop treating it like a vegan diet
I'll be
then?
so happy. So I'm going to make that later, the pasta. Delete my food apps.
Be a good start.
Yeah, that's true, Marissa.
I didn't
I
stop
know,
you before, but it'd be
I'll
a
feel
start.
so much better, I know it, and I just have to keep thinking my life will be so much better.
Yeah, it will be. If you can do it, it will be.
Walks are not happening outside at all until there's no snow. I hate snow.
I don't blame her for that. We've had some terrible weather here in England. It's starting to turn back better now. I've done some walks recently, but we had a really cold snap followed by a really miserable wet snap. And I get not wanting to walk in it, I really do. But it's a shame that her goal right now being, oh, I want to move more, I want to be able to walk to these places, directly followed up with oh, but it's snowing, I'm not going outside, makes me think, well, how serious is she? But at the same time, it's fucking snow in Canada. It's serious business. So I get not walking. If she falls over, like, it's going to be seriously damaging to her. But I wish she'd find other ways to move. Like, is there anything she can do in the apartment?
I hate
That's
walking
not
in it.
porn
It's so
dancing.
bright and cold and trudgy. It's like hard to walk in it. Clean with me video. Oh, you should see my
Oh,
kitchen right
I'd
now.
be here for that.
Oh.
I do. Part of me wants to see how hoarder bad the kitchen has got, and part of me is just going to be horrified. But do clean with me videos. Do more content like that. I love that stuff.
Oh, so tired.
You notice how she's tired now? The moment she starts thinking about responsibilities and things she has to do, she just starts yawning and is like, oh, I'm exhausted. And then she has to go to bed. And then she wakes up and, oh, it's time to eat again. And now the cycle continues and nothing ever actually gets done.
Yeah, I got a new mask. I went early.
Oh, that's a relief because she needs
one
that.
day.
That's her
that
CPAP
one
mask.
day.
She broke it, or
And
it
I
broke.
got a new mask. Yeah, I'm gonna do some videos. I'll make a video on the stew. Laps around the house, yes.
Yeah, house
I haven't
exercise.
talked to my doctor yet, Kara. I'm gonna do a video later. Recorded video with
I
all
hope we
my
get that video.
updates.
As much as
I have to talk to my doctor.
Chantal is an unreliable narrator, shall we say, in as much as I hope she's truthful in it, but I hope we get the update.
They're calling me at like 5 something. They know I don't like early. What's pegs?
I don't know.
Maybe I do need a nap. I feel like I probably should just like rest for a lot of the day.
See her
because
talking
of my
herself out of it.
infection healing.
I mean,
Like,
yes,
I'll have a
rest is
and then I'll
important.
come back
She's
and
had
clean up
a
my
rough
kitchen a
day.
bit. Start making something to eat. I would rest. Yeah, I'm gonna rest.
So there we
Even
go.
if I eat
Now
something
we
like
don't
from
have to.
takeout, I usually notice how thirsty I get. Oh my god,
The
I gotta eat it.
diabetes and the
I
sodium.
get so thirsty. Which means there must be a lot of sodium. I have to watch that.
Yeah.
Sodium.
Cholesterol.
I might make kind of
Salt.
hungry again. I'm just feeling tired right now a little bit. Should I sleep? I mean, too much sleeping is not good either, right? Or do you have to sleep when you're healing? You're healing sleep?
I don't think it would kill you
Yeah,
to
my
stay
blood
awake.
sugar was really high.
I mean, I'd be
There's
worried
a lot
about a
of things that
diabetic
affect
coma
blood
at this point.
sugar other than sugar, you know, by the way.
By the way, yes, but given that sugar is the obvious one that you're still consuming, let's maybe focus on the more obvious first. And then if it doesn't end up being that, if you remove all of those and you see no improvement, we'll look at the special mystery ones, okay?
Sleeping helps the healing process.
It does, but also
Yeah, that's for sure.
you could do
I
things.
guess I might go do that. I'm feeling kind of tired. I really hope it heals on its own and I don't have to go back to the hospital. I so don't want to do that.
You don't have to go back. Go see your doctor.
You should rest and let your body heal. Yeah, I think I'll do that, guys. So I'll get off here. Thanks for having breakfast with me and...
You're welcome.
Alright, guys. I'm gonna go lay down with my cats. Bye!
All right, and we have reached the end. Okay, guys, she does have a lot of health issues. It's nice that she's talking in a way that might actually do her some good, but we have heard it before. So the chance of her actually doing it, we'll see. I mean, this is the most serious health situation she's really been in her history thus far. This is definitely the worst with all the combination of things. But is it, or indeed anything, enough to actually help her, to galvanize her into helping herself? I'm not sure. Now we're running into the problem of, because she thinks she knows all the nutrition stuff, therefore no one's advice is good enough, because you're like, no, I know better. And that's just as dangerous for her. She does seem to be defaulting back into her usual diet thinking. So this is becoming, oh no, yes, she's got diabetes and yes, she's got liver problems, but she just wants to eat the way she eats when she's trying to lose weight, because losing weight will fix all of that. But with those problems now actually being a thing, before, losing weight was the primary concern because losing weight would solve her issues. Now, doing the things she usually does, like juicing and other things like that, they're just going to irritate some of her other issues, like her diabetes. She doesn't have the freedom to pursue any diet anymore. And I really, really hope her professionals can help her with that, and she indeed can help herself. So I am looking forward to the doctor update. I'm looking forward to more information, and just to sustain it for more than a week would greatly exceed my expectations, and I'm hoping for it. Okay guys, I'm gonna go. This has been hugely long, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.